The influence of modernism is evident throughout history and has impacted various designers of both the 20th and 21st century. A designer who evidently expressed modernism in their work was Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, as seen through his design of the MR chair and the Farnsworth house. Modernity shaped Mies' career, and his work has inspired contemporary designers such as Sir Jonathan Ive. Ive adopted similar design beliefs as Mies, as seen in his work for Apple, consisting of the 2007 iPhone and Apple Park. Mies was a master of design and is regarded as one of the world's best-known architects. Mies was born on March 27, 1886 in Aachen, Kingdom of Prussia, German Empire, and often found himself visiting building sites as a result of his father's position as a stonecutter. This was his first exposure to the architectural world, which would eventually develop into his lifelong career. The Royal House in Potsdam was his first commission, and from this, Mies gained recognition from established designers such as Peter Behrens, the best known and most progressive architect in Germany at the time. Behrens offered Mies a job, and from there he established connections to many designers of his time, such as Walter Gropius, who became the first director of the Bauhaus. Mies followed the development of the Bauhaus and eventually became the third and final director from 1930 to 1933. All professors and full-time teachers of the Bauhaus unanimously expressed their confidence in the new director of the Bauhaus, and were convinced that under him the institute would be able to carry out professional and fruitful work. Although Mies' strong influence and determination was not enough to save the Bauhaus from the Nazi regime. After the closure of the Bauhaus in 1933, Mies accepted an invitation to be head of the architecture program at the Armour Institute of Technology and permanently immigrated to the USA in August 1938. He spread the word of modernism and his design career continued to progress. However, in 1960, Mies' health became progressively worse and he passed away in 1969. A key statement of his philosophy would have to be his famous quote, "Less is more," which he strongly endorsed and is heavily expressed in most of his work, such as that of the MR chair and the Farnsworth house. This saying became fundamental in the explanation of modernism. Whilst Mies was greatly renowned for his architecture, he also excelled in furniture design, which included that of the MR chair. Designed in 1927, the MR chair has a frame of steel tubing and seating comprised of leather. The free-swinging frame and the free, tight leather upholstery allow for pleasant suspension and a high level of sitting comfort. Mies so flawlessly follows the principles of modernism with the MR chair. The principle that is most obviously expressed is simplicity, as the entire frame is made from one continuous piece of steel, and the leather component is comprised of two simple bands. This design choice emphasizes Mies' philosophy of less is more, as it eliminates all unnecessary components to produce one sleek, efficient piece. A structure like this was not common of the time, showing Mies' rejection of historicism and his efforts to evoke the spirit of the times. Restricting the materials to purely steel and leather additionally emphasizes the modernistic principles of truth to material, lack of ornament, and universality, as the piece can be utilized internationally. The MR chair is adequate for mass production and was created during the interwar period, which sparked a demand for simple, functional, and reproducible design. Mies' design of the Farnsworth house is recognized as an iconic masterpiece of the international style of architecture and is a clear example of modernism. The Farnsworth house was designed and built between 1946 and 1951 for Dr. Edith Farnsworth as a place to relax, entertain, and enjoy nature. It is constructed of glass, concrete, and steel, which promotes the principles of using modern industrial materials as well as anti-historicism, as this style of architecture was not common or popular. Mies once stated that each material has its specific characteristics which we must understand if we want to use it. This is no less true of steel and concrete. The Farnsworth house is a marvel of simplicity as well as form follows function. It is incredible to see how something so minimalistic can be so aesthetic, functional, and modern. As time progressed, so did the influence of modernism, and today we are witness to the impact it had on designers of the 21st century. The buildings we inhabit, the chairs we sit on, the graphic design that surrounds us have all been created by the aesthetics and the ideology of modernist design. It simply is not possible to work in ignorance of the most powerful force in the creation of 20th century visual culture. The impact of modernism was strongly apparent on Mies, and his influential demeanour has gone on to inspire contemporary designers to adopt modernism into their work. Mies even stated that generally, I think my work has so much influence because of its reasonableness. A designer of the 21st century that is notably influenced by Mies and the principles of modernism is Sir Jonathan Ive. Ive is a genius at producing modern design and is well known for his work with Apple. Ive was born on the 27th of February 1967 in London, England. He studied industrial design at Newcastle Polytechnic, and after meeting with various design experts, he was drawn to product design. Ive graduated with a first-class Bachelor of Arts degree in 1989 and was soon given employment at the London Design Agency by Robert Weaver. After a year with Weaver, Ive joined a London startup design agency called Tangerine. However, his frustration with the position reached a turning point after a client rejected Ive's work, stating that the products were too costly and looked too modern. Ive was unhappy working for clients whom he disliked and who did not possess the same principles, so he moved to Apple. Ive worked his way up the ranks at Apple, beginning as a consultant for Apple's Chief of Industrial Design. He then progressed to become Senior Vice President of Industrial Design and subsequently headed the Industrial Design team. Following this, on the 29th of October 2012, Apple announced that Ive would provide leadership and direction for human interface, but his progress through the ranks did not finish there. On the 26th of May 2015, Apple announced that Ive was promoted to the role of Chief Design Officer. Ive's philosophy surrounds the fact that our goal is simple objects that you can't imagine any other way, which resonates with Mies' less is more. Ive's work for Apple is known around the world, which could be credited to his modernistic approach to design, as seen in the 2007 iPhone. The iPhone's main structure consists of a steel frame between two plates of glass. It has been said that the iPhone revolutionized the entire industry, and it was described as an outstanding design of the 21st century. Ive strongly believes in the power of a single component and how simplicity can produce good design. There is a remarkable efficiency and beauty to just how much a single part can do. Like Mies' MR chair, Ive's designed the iPhone to consist of one continuous piece of steel that makes up the structure of the product. With his designs, Ive always questions, can we do the job of those 6 parts with just one? This highlights just how similar his style is to that of Mies and his philosophy of less is more. Additionally, the iPhone fulfilled the practical needs of modern life, as at the time of its production, phones were becoming a major aspect of daily life. The iPhone was able to be mass-produced, and it rejected historicism in the sense that no similar designs had been produced previously. When the iPhone was released, Steve Jobs stated that this is the future. Ive was always striving to move forwards rather than backwards. His approach to design is influenced by the demand of society and how as each day passes, humanity is increasingly attracted to the new, and we are always searching for the next big thing in technology and aesthetics. Much like Mies, Ive created an ingenious display of architectural brilliance through Apple Park. Apple Park is a 175-acre campus composed of offices, workspaces, and more. Ive specifically designed Apple Park to perform one function: to help the Apple team work more efficiently and have a space to be more innovative. The interior design of the park consists of open plan and shared office spaces in an effort to encourage collaboration and creativity. This design further enforces the sense that less is more, as I've recognised that it's really important in a product to have a sense of hierarchy of what is important and what's not important. By eliminating the unnecessary walls and rooms, the space is more efficiently utilised, just like in the Farnsworth House. The stylistic design approach to Apple Park resonates with the ideas behind the Farnsworth House. Whilst the two designs are drastically different, they both applied the modernistic principle of using modern industrial materials. This is apparent in both designs, as they are both comprised mainly of steel, concrete and glass, creating a sleek and aesthetic design. Apple Park is also a model example of anti-historicism, as it is a unique and modern building. It runs 100% on renewable energy and has been described as a spaceship due to its progressive and futuristic style. The influence of modernism is undeniable, and it has majorly impacted the design world. Without this movement, design as we know it would not be what it is today. Designers such as Ludwig Mies van der Rohe held strong beliefs in regards to modernism, which he expressed in his work of the MR chair and the Farnsworth House. His work went on to inspire and influence contemporary designers, who consequently incorporated modernistic principles into their work. Sir Jonathan Ive is an example of this, and through his work of the 2007 iPhone and Apple Park, we can see the drastic influence of modernism. As Mies once said,
Ich glaube nicht, dass man zu einer zu einem klaren Ausdruck unserer Zeit gelangt, wenn man sich nicht einer klaren baulichen Disziplin bedient.
A big definition of who you are as a designer, it's the way that you look at the world. And I guess it's one of the sort of curses of what you do is that you're constantly looking at something and thinking, why is it like that? Why is it like that and not like this?